Background courtesy of Photographs of a Mad Richard. Link in the description.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. This is my channel, and I am doing yet another changing of my bandage. Trying to use up things and whatever have you. For those of you that don't know, I was injured, it got infected. Now I have a bandage on my hand. The bandage dressing needs to be changed periodically. And because it needs to be soaked for 10 minutes, I have elected to make videos during the soaking process in order to make the best use of my time. It's kind of a thing for this channel. Oh. Yeah, they had to cut me open to drain the infection out. Oh, that just so looks disgusting. Doesn't look like it's healing at all. I mean, I don't know if the white goo is pus or not, but it just doesn't look good. I'll tell you that much. Okay. Timer started. Now I gather my supplies. You'd be like, why didn't you gather your supplies first? Because then what would I do while the timer's going? See, keeping my mind as distracted as possible while I do this is kind of the goal. I mean, I only have one functioning hand at the moment. So, I'm putting this stuff together. So now, a thing I gotta point out here, because it's now pretty relevant. Have you guys ever thought of what does make a healthy meal? You know what I mean? Like, it's actually a pretty varied topping. I just looked at what the last meal they gave me in the hospital. I happened to take a picture of it. So, you know, and it was French toast, oatmeal, and eggs. No coffee. I think they gave me milk. And you're like, that's not very well balanced. I mean, the oatmeal is good because it has fiber, but why would you pair that with French toast? Eggs have protein, but so does French toast because they're made with eggs. Oatmeal is a reasonable breakfast, but not a great breakfast. And I mean, you know, breakfast is kind of a typically pretty unhealthy meal. It's made quickly, generally on a grill, and not with a lot of vegetables. You know, I remember I was in the hospital and I was like, I need vegetables. And they're like, you're not going to eat vegetables for breakfast. I'm going, I eat vegetables for breakfast all the time. What's wrong with you? But they're like, no, I mean, you know, most people just won't do that. It's like, yeah, okay, but this is a hospital. Food should be focused on being good for you and nothing else. So, this does bring up the concept, what is a healthy meal? And I mean, it's like, you know, there's a lot of questions that come about, okay? One of these questions being like, you know, do you consider your beverage part of the meal? If you do, then the healthiest thing to have is water. Black coffee and unsweetened tea are also great alternatives, all right? And I've often said there's no such thing as a healthy meal without a glass of water. So obviously fluids to help you break down the food would be good. Food should be not too terribly processed, so it's like, yeah, the bare minimum of an edible meal would be carbohydrates and protein with fluid, I guess. So that's just one of those things, carbohydrates, protein, fluid. Cheese and bread, you know, is going to do it for you. These are all what we refer to as macronutrients. Macronutrients tend to be measured in grams, with the exception of fiber, which is considered a micronutrient, but it's still measured in grams, okay? So, the big things you need, I mean, you could live without fiber, but there are health concerns. So, a healthy meal should have a certain amount of fiber in it. Not too much fiber in it so that it doesn't like fly out your back end, but it should have fiber in it, and it should have a well-rounded level of micronutrients, okay? But it's like, one of the things about vegetables, for example, is the different colors they come in tell you what their nutrient contents are. So it's like, strawberries, tomatoes, watermelon, they all have what's referred to as lycopene. I don't remember what vitamin it is, but lycopene is a necessary substance to keep you alive. Prevents prostate cancer. So when you, for example, you eat a hamburger and French fries, you're technically upping the nutritional content by adding ketchup. Okay? Ketchup made from tomatoes has lycopene in it, so it has micronutrients that are good for you. All right? That's just one of those things. They're not, like, oh my God, it's a huge difference, but it is a difference. So it's just one of those facts that you have to keep dealing with, is that, what makes a healthy meal? And it's like, you need to have the red pigment fairly often. You need to, I think there are up to 3 green pigments. I'm not dead sure. I haven't done enough research on it. But there's actually what's referred to as the food rainbow. And I've seen 3 versions of it. Some of them include fiber, so there's brown as a color. And some of it include 3 colors of green. So, I mean, healthy food will tend to be more diverse, But then, like, obviously, you can't just get a plate of Jolly Ranchers and say, well, I mean, there are my colors. Like, no, they need to be natural. So I don't know. What creates an A-grade meal? What creates a B-grade meal? I don't really have answers to these questions. At the end of the day, I realize that I need to do a lot of research and do a lot of things regarding health. And this is not to say I don't have a pretty vast knowledge of health, because I do, but no matter how much you know about health, there's always something more to know. That's the thing. But I can tell you this much. G.I. Joe kept saying, knowing is half the battle. Yeah, it's half the battle. Implementing is the other half. And half is 50%, which is an F. So, it's one of those things you have to deal with in life, is that the biggest and most important part of your life is going to be implementing things, getting things done. The rest of it really just isn't all that important. I mean, a basic knowledge with a strong implementation is much better than an incredible knowledge with no implementation. It's one of those things. Me, I ate a lot of food that just wasn't good for me. And I mean, my blood sugar, I just tested it. It was 177, which is good for me. It's pretty good. My last one was almost 200. Or was it? Let me see. Got it written down. It was 202. So 177 was a major improvement. But I'm not taking my insulin. And I'm not taking my insulin because I was too dang exhausted to do it then. I don't really have the time to do it now. And I'm more focused on wound care, although I have to admit I'm in the right position. My blood sugar is not a major concern right now. In fact, even my doctor said, your blood sugar is less of a concern directly after the operation and more of a concern as time goes on. So, but one of the things that needs to happen in my life, and something I've been saying for years now, is I need to have a professional attitude towards food. All right? Is one of the things that I want to do is I have a fitness channel called Richard's Fat Man Getting Fit. And at a certain point, if I want that to flourish, I have to make content. So if I become someone in the business of being fit, then, that's my business. And I've got to take a professional. When you're eating at McDonald's, you're eating as a professional. You're professionally consuming food to create a body that, presents to your audience. So that's a really, really interesting thing, So I do have to ask the question, what is a healthy meal, professionally? Okay, we got about 30 seconds left here. I don't know if I'm even doing this right. I need more of this red stuff, and I have more of the red stuff. There may even be more of the red stuff inside this bag next to me, but I haven't cleaned the bag out. Or like pads and things. Don't really know if I should be sticking my hand in here. Alrighty. Then the other worry is that YouTube may just decide that this content is too gruesome for a mainstream audience, so I don't want to show too much of my thumb. And they may restrict it. Definitely some fresh blood coming out of there. And it hurts. God, does it hurt. And once again, you see me not just wrapping the thumb, but the hand. And the reason for that is to ensure that the wrap is complete, sealing, and sturdy. I know it looks giant, but, it doesn't need to look good. It needs to work well. So there we are. Okay. Tucked. This is not working. It's not working. There we go. Alright, somebody's at my front door. I better go check that out. I'll see y'all later. I'm Richard. Hey, Astro, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Yeah, Nance, I heard the food was good, but it had no atmosphere. Now that was a corny joke, but you know what isn't a joke? A clean environment. And this channel will buy one of these bracelets I'm holding from 4Ocean for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. So you should comment, like, and subscribe. Support us so we can support a better world.